is made of.
Okay, hey guys, this is Jill Lewis and Rob Landis. I am a faster way to fat loss coach and a personal trainer, and Rob is the guru on all things nutrition and wellness, and he's got a supplement store here and plus more. I hate to even just say supplement store because you've got even more than that in Marion, Illinois. And today we're not even going to be talking about supplements really. Today we just wanted to talk to you about eating your dang veggies. Specifically cruciferous vegetables. So Rob and I both love them, and we want you to love them too. And I think you need to hear all the benefits and things, right?
Yes. So number one, Jill, do you know what cruciferous vegetable? I mean, why is it called a cruciferous vegetable?
That's a great question that I do not know that answer.
Yes. So excruciating means the pain of the cross. Cruciferous means the bearing a cross. And I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's because the flowers on cruciferous vegetables are in 4 petals and they're shaped like a cross.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
I know.
So it's not like the pain of eating the vegetables. Okay.
I thought that at first. I was like, the etymology of this is probably because they kind of taste a little pungent if you don't fix them right.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it was actually that.
Okay, that's interesting. Wow. Well, there you go. Okay. I love learning fun facts from Rob, don't you guys?
Well, I want to have a little something special for that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So, okay. What are cruciferous vegetables? I mean, we all know like vegetables, but when we say cruciferous vegetables, I know we're talking about cauliflower, broccoli.
Those are the big ones that everybody knows, and that primarily people are consuming.
Yeah. What else we got?
Yep. So broccoli sprouts, Brussels sprouts, broccoli sprouts being the highest in the ingredient that makes the sulforaphane, which is the most beneficial ingredient.
Okay.
So those are those little bitty things that you see in your salad bar at Kroger in the salad department.
Yeah.
And then you can sprout your own. I actually have supplies for that. I've never done that, but yes, if you're interested,
that's cool. I'll put that on the list to do. But I think I'll just buy them at the store. So it's the kind of they're like a clear container in the grocery store.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the most rich. And then it's just fun to say, but Jill, that wasabi has it too.
Okay, so when you're getting your wasabi, you're getting a cruciferous vegetable, and I did not know that until Rob told me that.
And lastly, arugula.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Is high in that, and it's also high in nitrates, Jill, actually ounce per ounce higher than beetroot, which a lot of people know about for the vasodilation and all.
Tell everybody nitrates, why do we need that?
Those are the things that get turned into nitric oxide that do vasodilation, meaning they make your vessels a little larger, and so can increase blood flow to an area, improve exercise tolerance, lower blood pressure.
Okay, very good. So you said Brussels sprouts, right? Too. That's like what? That's probably my favorite. That one and cauliflower, I think, are my favorite. Which is weird. As a child, I would have never said that. The difference is how you cook these. I think.
Yes.
You know, when I was a kid, I think I had a grandparent that would like boil Brussels sprouts or something. It was terrible. And now, you know, I roast all my vegetables. I don't know. We could geek out on all the ways we love vegetables, but I don't know. They're just really good.
Yes.
We're live in Rob's store, by the way, so you're going to see people coming and going. It's a very friendly place. Yeah. So we got the kinds of cruciferous vegetables, and then tell us about like what's in them that makes them so special.
Okay. So Jill, there's 2,400 studies done on the benefits of cruciferous vegetables.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to get to talk to you about this, or with you all, is that it's overwhelming how much information we have now about how beneficial they are.
2,400 studies have been done to show that cruciferous vegetables are what we need to be eating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they have they're called isothiocyanates. Fancy way they turn in these things called sulforaphane, which you've probably heard of that.
I have, but refresh my memory on what that is.
So sulforaphane is used in the liver primarily to detoxify. That's the biggest component of the cruciferous vegetables that we find. This is why they're so helpful for people that have been exposed to, well, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but Roundup. It helps to detoxify that. If you've been exposed to a lot of heavy metals.
Heavy metals, that's okay.
Yeah, they can help. They're involved in the liver detoxification process. So they make it where your body it makes it less dangerous when it's in your body, and then it helps it to be able to excrete it. Wow. That's what the sulforaphane primarily does. I mean, there's other factors that it does too. And then estrogen metabolism. A lot of women in our culture are estrogen dominant.
Estrogen dominant.
Dominant, yes. They make adequate amounts of estrogen, but then the things that we apply to our skin, the things we're exposed in, the xenoestrogens in maybe Tide laundry detergent. increase the activity in those receptors, well, cruciferous vegetables help to detoxify that. So you may notice less PMS, less fluctuation during that time if you increase your cruciferous vegetable intake.
And they have a lot of fiber.
Oh yeah. And there's lots of other nutrients in them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, my clients know this. If you're not one of my clients and you're watching this, what I always say is that protein and fiber at every meal make losing weight no big deal. That's like, I read it in a book somewhere, and I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I say that all the time. Fiber is so important, obviously, and so these have a good source of fiber too.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. They're also anti-inflammatory naturally.
Okay.
They function as antioxidants in the body. That's why we're seeing some decrease in total body inflammation and some blood markers. And just recently, I don't know how they decided to study this. They've actually been studying them in mice, and they actually have some antiviral properties. So with all the, this going around lately, and I mean, cold and flus are viral too, right? They're actually act directly against that by stimulating the immune system. I suspect it's because it increases enzymes of which your antibodies are.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So, I mean, I love vegetables, but I also love meat, to be honest. Like I eat a lot of protein. I consume it, pretty much at every meal. So what are your thoughts on, I mean, there's a lot of like things out on, I don't know, streaming devices, documentaries on why, a plant-based diet is best and but
and how horrible a diet that has any meat in it is.
Any meat, and that, so I'm just curious what your take, how is that, what do you think?
Yeah. So we do know that some studies have shown that meat consumption, in particular red meat consumption, may increase the risk for certain pathologies, including cancer. When they control these studies for vegetable intake, what we find is that it's the lack of vegetables in those diets, not the meat, that is causing the problems.
Okay.
Yes. So how nice is it to have a grilled steak?
Yeah.
Well, we know that does produce something. It's called HCAs, is the abbreviation.
Right.
That in some studies have shown increase in cancer.
And that is from the meat being cooked on the grill
at a very high temperature.
Okay.
Guess what cruciferous vegetables do?
What?
They neutralize that.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what's so wonderful about this, Jill. So I know on your plate it's probably 2/3 vegetable, and
I eat a lot of vegetables, but I have meat. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you've neutralized the risk and added to the benefit of that, and you get the benefit of the meat, which that's where we get our B12 and our heme iron and good forms of protein, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean,
okay, I feel good about this.
Oh, it's so incredible what we can do with the vegetables. So yeah, I mean, again, just to reemphasize, the risk factor when you're eating meat is not eating vegetables. If you do that in combination, that's the best way to keep your body healthy, because especially women, but all of us that need to produce, have heme iron to carry our oxygen, right? We all have to have adequate amounts of protein. Yep. So
very cool. Yeah. The thing too, and I know, I mean, I get this a lot. I have a lot of people that will send me a DM talking about vegetables, and maybe they didn't grow up eating them. Or they weren't forced to eat them like my parents did.
And George Bush. Remember, he didn't like broccoli.
No, I didn't know.
I think that, the senior George Bush. Yeah, he dissed on broccoli.
I mean, I think at some point you just have to say, I'm going to turn this around, and for your own kids. Like, you don't want your children then to be going down that same path. So at some point you just have to experiment. And if you're not into vegetables, I would just say, just start trying, and not every bite you take has to be this amazing taste explosion into your mouth. You know what I mean? Sometimes like food is medicine, and that doesn't mean that it's always going to be like eating like homemade apple pie, but that's okay. Your taste buds are going to change. And I'm always working with my clients on trying to get our taste buds to change by eliminating more of the processed foods, trying to get the bulk of our food from what we're talking about, like whole foods, stuff that comes from the ground, things that had a mother. Like, that's the kind of food that we want to eat, food in its most like basic form. And that's what I'm trying to do. I know Rob is a big component of it too.
Absolutely.
So thanks for this training, because it had nothing to do with, any kind of supplemental stuff. We just want you to start eating your veggies.
That's right. Just like your grandma said, eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables. All right. Thanks, Rob.